Spirit is going to be coming more into your life because of this Aries, 0 degrees of Aries. You're going to see more and more and
And that
more.
you are not just the citizen of Earth, you're a galactic citizen of Earth.
Choices, choices,
I'm
choices.
Vicki, and I'm Dawna. And it's your time.
Hi, everyone. My name is Vicki, and it is your time. And this is my lovely co-host, Dawna.
Hello, everybody, and I'm welcome to It's Your Time. And it is your time. It's your time to look at all these energies that are coming through with planetary alignment and astrological things that are going on. And that's what we wanted to talk about this week. So, but before we do that, I'll give them a little teaser.
Yes.
Um, you said there was something that you wanted to talk about this
Oh,
week.
well, um, besides the energies, which were crazy, by the way, I had watched this podcast, surprise, surprise, and it was Mayim Bialik's podcast, and she had on a Dr. Ellen Langer,
Langer.
Langer.
Okay.
Yes, yes. And and it was titled Heal Your Body with Your Mind. And we've all heard these things about healing your body with your mind. Yes, it can happen. Does it happen often? I don't know. I don't know how often this happens. I know some people wish they could and it doesn't work. But what's the magic ingredients? And anyway, it was a great podcast. You should listen to it. We'll attach it to the description notes. But one of the things that she really pointed out was um giving people choices, choices. And she was talking a lot about, our elderly people, like maybe if you're in a nursing home, if you're in an assisted living, but they found that if you gave these people a choice every day, they had to make a decision on something every day, their body starts to react like it matters.
Mm-hmm.
And they have scientifically shown that a lot of these people live longer because they feel engaged with something. And they were saying, choice maybe if you want to meet somebody in your room, if you want to meet somebody, down in the hall, a choice if you want to go outside, a choice, when you want to eat, a choice of what you want to wear, a choice, just a choice, and have them have some sort of autonomy over their day,
Right.
and their body will react like they matter. And I thought that was such an interesting concept because it's something that I had never really thought of, but it goes along in the whole, mind over matter type of thing.
It does. Yeah.
And it does help heal you in some sort of way. So
So
um
I was going to say, if you take that further, I've seen even babies that can just barely sit up. Their mothers will say, put the onesie in front. Do you want the yellow one or the green one? And they choose. Do you want the white socks or and they choose. And I saw that and I went, if I just had that, I mean, because my mom I was her baby doll. So she
yeah.
just dressed me however, and I don't think I really cared. I don't feel like I did. But if at that time, if I was in that generation where they do that, it probably would give you a different view on everything and autonomy, like you're saying, have a control over, you'll have control over something, so
Mm-hmm.
you don't have to control everyone around you, that
Mm-hmm.
sort of thing. That's what came to mind when you mentioned that. My mom had those choices. I just automatically gave them to her when I was visiting. It's afternoon. Do you want to go outside? Do you want to go down the hall and watch, whatever? You want to join the painting class or whatever was going on, and she would choose, and I never thought until you said that. I always thought that she stayed here longer because I was coming to see her all the time.
Mhm.
Um,
Which she probably was
well,
also doing
yeah,
that.
partly. Because then when COVID hit, that was when she passed. It wasn't from COVID. It was from the fact that she couldn't hold the phone and they weren't able to spend
Right.
time holding
Yeah.
the phone for her and
Sometimes
things
it
like
just
that.
is your time.
Yeah, there you go. It was her time, and it was I think it was perfect timing as far as our lives and everything. It was
Mhm.
perfect. The exit strategy she had was really great. But in thinking about that, that's what I came up with. Because I remembered we would do that, and I never thought that it would, you don't think of those things. So that's a
Mhm.
really really good point. So, taking that point
Yes.
and use that for yourself in the choices that you make, without judgment or, no blaming yourself for wanting to eat the French fries instead of the lettuce, that kind of thing. But when you like that app for losing weight, it gives you a choice. You say, well, this is what I'd like to eat. And then it says, oh, do you have this? And then this will, solve that craving, that sort of thing. So it's like you have the choice. Do you want to eat that stuff or do you want to eat that? Um, but when I make the choice to eat something that I know is probably not good for me, I think I do more grace around it. And I thank everything that's in what I'm eating to, to,
Yeah.
to work through my body. And
When
yeah,
when I eat something that I know isn't necessarily good for me, I just know that I need to enjoy the hell out of it.
yeah, that's right. There you go. There you go. Anyway, of course, I always turn it back to food somehow, but
Well, we do have good food on this planet.
we do. That's part of why I'm here. So,
Oh, another thing that I did want to speak of, um, I was listening to somebody in one of these groups things saying that they know that they're a healer, but they don't know how to, they don't, but they're afraid to start, right?
ah,
They're afraid of failure. And I wanted to talk about healing because healing is not just your body. Healing is your mind, healing is your energy, healing is your mindset.
yes,
Healing can come through in so many different ways. And if you're afraid of failure, of course you will never get anything done. But just realize that the energy that you bring into a conversation, the energy that you bring into anything that you do is unique to you. Your energy has special powers. And if you want to heal somebody, don't know, don't put limitations on how you expect that healing to go.
right. That
Yeah.
no expectations. It brings out so much more energy that I've found.
Yeah.
And because
And
when you try to force it, just like
mhm.
the skater the other night at the Olympics, he was going to do a quadruple or whatever, and he ended up doing not even his regular stuff. He just
Mhm.
because he overthought it and he just, got so if you don't think about it and just, don't put that pressure and don't expect any, special outcome, just that this is going to help somebody
Yeah.
in some way.
And if you feel like you're a healer, you are in one way or another. And I know when I was going through, of course, my paths, I went through different, energy healings and this and that and this. And I never really saw anybody heal necessarily.
Mm.
But but I did try a lot of different things with my friends, and
Hmm.
it's like I did the weird stuff with my friends and they allowed me to do the weird stuff on them. And did they say, oh, that felt great? No, but I did it anyway because I wanted to do it. I wanted to express something. And
Hmm.
that's all it takes is just doing it. You don't have to see a reaction. You don't have to see
It
anything.
doesn't have to be miraculous
No, no.
because,
Things happen over time.
right.
And and I will say my friends are still Here. They're still semi-healthy.
Oh, good. So you didn't harm anybody.
I
You
didn't
just
hurt anybody.
you just helped. Well, and also it can plant a seed. You
Mhm,
know, you like one healing that I call it a healing session. But you know, just an energy session, you would say,
mhm,
or a shamanic session. And you know, the seeds that I planted there, the next time we did it, it was like double. It came through double. And also it was her mindset because she thought shamanic things were what's the word? Like, you know, like the high level healing.
mm,
She put a lot of stock in shaman healing, which obviously there, you know, obviously it helped her in some way. Anyway, but you know, the point being part of that was her mindset. And but I it did work more like exponentially each time
mhm.
that we did it. So, you know, it wasn't miraculous, but and I wanted that I get that when we're doing Ann Tucker doing that glow up every day.
Yeah.
On the weekends I've been listening to a couple and when she brings the angels in, I definitely feel something. And it you know, it's not necessarily healing my whole body, but it is for that moment. It does something for me at that moment. So I know that these things that's real. So, you know, maybe there's some way that we could figure out how to connect with the angels to help us do this. That's another, you know, that's why
Mhm,
shamanically we have, you know, the mountain spirits and all that stuff.
mhm.
Well, I've been adding the angels to that too. So,
Good.
yeah. Well, they're probably the same thing. They're probably, you know,
You know,
they're the angels too.
yeah, it's all intention, and there are energies around you that will help you.
Hmm.
Mhm.
And I was watching today with Amrit. He had Dr. Sue Morter on, and she talked about our field being us. Like our it's not like a higher self that's out there somewhere. It's all right here.
Mhm.
And you know how you work with that. And that's true. I've felt that. Um sorry, I'm squeaking. Squeak.
I do hate when that happens.
But and that makes you look at things differently. And if you can tap into that stuff with, you know, meditation and, you know, and working on that, then yeah, that it definitely can make a difference in your body. And even if it doesn't last, you know, you got there for a moment and that stopped the buildup of whatever was happening to you at
Mhm.
that point. Even if it didn't totally relieve it, it stopped it so that you can go back to 0 point within yourself and move forward from there. So
Neutral.
neutral,
Back to
yeah.
neutral.
That back to neutral. That's right. That is so cool. Yeah, let's go back to neutral. Now, I don't know, people that drive automatic cars don't know what neutral is, but on the one hand, neutral could be when you go into neutral in, you know, in your car, it could be scary because you don't know what's happening for a second, but it is like a resting point, I guess I would say. Yeah.
It's where you're not excited. It's where you're not unhappy. You just kind of look at things and go,
You're observing. Yeah,
yes,
that's it.
it's the watcher mentality.
Yeah. No, that's good. That if we could do that all the time, you know, like there was something that happened this week where you know, that same knee-jerk reaction for a second, but you know, I did back up and I did find a neutral point
Mhm.
and, you know, go back in and it was okay. But if I could have just seen that as an observer, I guess, yeah, I guess I haven't learned how to not do that yet sometimes, so it
Oh,
still comes.
it's very hard.
It
I mean,
is.
I still get triggered with things, but it is easier if you know, like if you have, like, if you want to just blame the energies.
I try not to
And
blame
it,
anybody,
well,
but
no,
you
but
know,
I'm saying sometimes
yeah,
you need to bring something in that explains it all.
yes,
Yeah.
yeah, that's the answer, and that's the one of the answers I came up with too. And also the fact that the person that I was dealing with, you know, I got to look at it like I was like, this is how Jesus said, you know, it was like a real lesson for me. You know, forgive them for they know not what they do. And it was like, no, she really doesn't. I mean, it wasn't like no, they don't know anything. They don't know what they're doing. It wasn't, that's how I usually think of that.
But you didn't go there this time?
I didn't. This time I was like, she just because and also because I talked to a couple other people that were there, and but I look at it as I'm living when I'm working, I'm in the 3D world and I have to fit there. And if I don't, I'm in trouble. So I wanted to make sure that what I had done. So I kind of felt like I was asking people like I was 8. Did I do the bad thing? Kind of a thing. But it was just like, no, it doesn't. Everybody said the same thing that I thought. No, it wasn't you, because when somebody mentioned it, what happened, I was like, was I even there? Because I don't remember that. So I totally saw it differently. So and you have to remember, everyone, as we always say, everyone sees things from where and who they are.
Mhm.
And and you have to
And it
forgive.
is amazing, the longer you live with somebody.
Uh-oh, here we go.
You do realize that they see totally different things than you see. You
Yeah,
might be looking at the same thing, but they'll like get a different take out of it than you
right,
get.
right.
And I think, with everybody trying to be more of their authentic self, you're just going to see more and more of people seeing and reacting differently to things than the way you do, because we're all different.
That's right. That's right. And you can look at it and say, well, actually you can't really in a couple. I don't know any couple who I know a couple of people who say they're the kind of couple that will say when somebody says something and say, "Oh, that's your 5-year-old self saying that." Those kinds of things where I can't imagine saying that because I probably would say, "What are you, 5 years old?" instead of
And
but
sometimes when I just bring into myself, well, that is his inner child not being heard, and this is my inner child not being heard.
right.
And sometimes you just have to give your inner child the space to realize that.
Yeah, yeah. And your inner child doesn't have to agree with his inner child either.
No,
So,
but no,
yeah,
because we were all brought up differently. We all have different experiences in our life, things that made us feel bad, or things that made us feel worthless, or things that, we were blamed for something that wasn't our fault.
right,
The injustices that were placed upon us,
right.
we all kind of come from there. And that is our inner child going, no.
Yeah, right. And that's happening louder now. It used to be it would be a little rumble. Now it's kind of like, no.
Well, it's the energies.
It is. It really, no, it is. And the changes in, the light and the energy, it definitely is. And
Mhm,
this is how we all are realigning with this
mhm.
energy and what's the word you always use? I can't think of. When you're getting you
Integrating.
integrating. Yeah. Yeah, that word is, I don't know what that is, but that word is so hard for me to remember. Integration. Yeah. And that's a part of the integration, I would
Mhm,
imagine. So, yeah.
mhm.
But I really have to hand it to you that, you're probably the only woman that I know who, is still in a relationship that long and you're both, on the awakened path. So and you're not I mean, the way your guys are learning, it's like this, it's like,
It is kind of, it's like,
yeah.
and when the energies are really, really high, and he is a Scorpio with a Scorpio rising,
Wow.
so he can, he feels that sting, right? And I do not feel that sting,
He will sting you
I
too.
am different, but when he stings, I react. And so I have to bring myself back to the place that, that is who he is, but he gets over it. He
Right.
gets, and I know when that stuff happens, I just leave the room. I get out of that energy. I let him process things by himself. I don't need to explain anything to him because, he
Right.
doesn't like that. We don't
No,
set him off further.
no. No,
But
just like we don't like mansplaining either. So,
no,
it's
no. So
good that you give them
I
that.
go to my room. He stays. We understand what is happening, and I have to let it go because the last time he went off, I had that screenshot of the Schumann resonance
Oh my God.
of like the shift happening. And when he went off and I started to react, and he's pointing at us like, it's like, oh, I gotta go. I gotta go. And it
Wow.
was okay. And
Yeah.
and the next day it had all blown over.
Right.
And,
Yeah.
and
That,
I
well,
didn't
see, that's
sit there
good
and scream
because
forever.
a lot of couples just hold that inside, and that's my experience. And just that resentment just builds up, and that's why people end up in therapy, and
Mhm.
it's usually too late when they do. So
Sometimes, yeah.
yeah, so I think it's great, but I mean, I don't know what triggered him. Did you trigger him? Because that happens with couples too.
Well,
None of my business.
should I
I'm
explain
just
the
trying to make it
stupid
even.
thing that triggered him?
It wasn't you.
Well, it kind of was,
Oh, well.
but it was dumb.
Oh, well.
I was like,
Well, yeah, but just it was.
I was having an apple for dinner, and I peeled half of it because he doesn't like the peel. And just in case, and he does this to me also. He'll like peel an apple and we'll just share it, right?
Yeah.
But I like the skin and he doesn't. So I was going to do something nice for him,
Yeah.
right? And so I peeled half of an apple. I ate the other half and I gave and I left it when I was eating my apple because he said he didn't want it. And so and he said he didn't want it. And
Hmm.
I said, well, just in case you do, I peeled it for you. I
Hmm.
was thinking he was going to say, oh, thank you. That was so thoughtful. Instead, he goes, I said I didn't want
Oh,
it.
see, there you go.
And see, there you go.
Yeah.
So,
So it's like
my
yeah.
expectations did not meet his expectations.
Right. Right. There you go. That's right. And well, I mean, couples do stuff like that for each other all the time, and if they don't,
And it wasn't the time to do it for him.
yeah. But you didn't know that, so
I did
you
not
couldn't
know
you
that.
couldn't. But when he said no, you could have known that, I guess. But you didn't.
Yeah, but you always want to say, yeah, but look what I did for you.
Yeah. No, I know.
And that doesn't always come out well.
Yeah. Well, that's very nice that you do that. I mean, that's
Well,
what couples do.
thank you for noticing.
Yeah, well, that's what couples do. It's like my dad would go make tea, and he would see my mom was drinking coffee, so he wouldn't offer, and then he'd sit down with the tea, and my mom would say, "Oh, I'm glad that you have a cup of tea," like you didn't. But
Yeah.
otherwise, they would, they usually that didn't happen very often. But I remember
No,
that
it
instance
it
because I
only
was like,
happens when the energy is really, really high.
"There you
I
go."
have
That's
noticed
probably
that.
it. Probably was that. And
Otherwise, he would have been fine.
well, and she was a Scorpio too, so.
Well, see, there you go.
You never understand. I never understood a lot of the things that she would do. So, and but that's okay. I always forgave
Oh,
her.
those Scorpios are not easy.
And no, they're I don't know. She was always really nice unless something annoyed her and she didn't know how to voice it. That's mostly what happens. What it's been, and I have another friend who's a Scorpio that happens. They don't know how to voice the emotions that are going on, so it comes
They're
out.
very deep and
Yeah.
they hold a lot in.
Yeah, and then when they let it out, look out. There you go. That was
Leave
my
the
mom.
room.
Yeah. Yep, that's right. Yeah. But she didn't get mad very often, but if she did, and she would grit her teeth. I always knew, oh, she's gritting her teeth. I better do. I don't know
Yeah.
what she must have given me a spanking after that when I was really little or something. But my parents were they loved each other dearly. So, and for many, many years, they were together 60 some
I
years.
love him dearly. He loves me
Yeah.
dearly, but
Yeah. But shit happens. That's right. Apples happen. Yeah.
Apples happen.
Now I'm going to think that next time I cut an apple, and I'll be like, well, I get to eat the whole thing, so I can make it however I want.
Well, next time I'm eating the whole thing too.
Yeah, there you go. Good. It's good for you. Anyway, so that was so cute.
So
I
let's
love
talk
that.
about the astrology coming
Yeah.
up.
So yes, so we have a new moon tomorrow. Today's the 15th, right? So it's a new moon on the 16th. which by the time you watch this, it's probably already been, um, unless we're really, really fast this time. And then on the 17th, that's a big day in many ways. First of all, it's the Lunar New Year that will bring in the fire horse who has been kicking at the stable doors for since what? December, I think. Yeah, it feels like it. And then definitely leaving behind the snake. So this
And also that the eclipse, the solar eclipse, we won't be able to see it here, but it is a ring of fire eclipse, which
it
means it goes all over the sun and just the outer ring will be visible.
right, they call that an annular solar
Is that
eclipse.
what, is that what that's
Yeah,
called?
that's what, so it's, I don't know. I thought annular would have to do with yearly. Maybe that's it. Oh, that's what it is. It's the first, the opening of eclipse season
Oh, okay,
is that. Maybe that's what that means. I have
yeah.
to look it up.
I know.
See, this is why
This is
we,
for entertainment purposes only.
yes, that's right. Very
Don't try
good.
and learn
Very good.
something.
It is very entertaining for me. But yeah, so the eclipse, like, it'll be the ring of fire is what they're talking about. And don't look at it directly.
Well, we won't be able to see it.
Oh, I should have brought my box. I have a shoebox that I made into for to watch an eclipse. But you could Google that and figure out how to do it. That's how I did it last time. But the I forget what I was going to say about the Ring of Fire. Oh, and this we're letting the snake go for sure. So it's like the snake has been shedding her skin for the last 2 months. Now it's like, we cleared out that skin and the snake is gone and on her way on the 17th. And then, was there anything between the 17th and 20th? I only have,
Well, besides the Chinese New Year of the fire horse, but I don't think so.
okay.
Yeah,
Isn't that what I said? Lunar New Year, Ring
I
of
know, but
Fire, Solar Eclipse,
I like to
and
say the
Lunar
word
New
fire
Year.
horse. I love
Oh,
that.
okay.
Oh,
Fire horse, fire horse, fire horse.
I like that.
The fire horse will be prancing in to stay, um, or she'll be prancing out of her stable. And I say she because it's much more feminine energy. And on the 20th, we have Saturn and Neptune at 0 degrees Aries. So this is what they're saying it's a Genesis moment, and it initiates a 36-year cycle. It's a once in a lifetime alignment, what they're calling a cosmic paradox. And if you Google it, the AI will give you some really, really, really in-depth ideas of what this is for, what I see it as, and what my helpers have said that you should spend time if you do ceremony or meditation or prayer on the 20th and focus on what you would like in your life and what you focus on that day, um, try and make sure that it's positive things because what you get what you focus on. Yeah.
That is true.
And this is a very powerful time to focus on that. And because this will give you a glimpse, in when you're praying about it or meditating about it, and you think of the next 36 years, think of how old you'll be when in 36 years. I probably won't be here.
I will be a spry 100 and
Yeah,
something
right.
or other.
But it starts a 36-year cycle, and this type of alignment hasn't happened in 9,000 years. That's a long time.
Yes, 9,000 years. That
Yeah.
is, yeah, it's and I've heard it with Neptune and Saturn. Saturn is rules, Neptune is kind of dreams, the illusory versus the non-illusory. And so
Right.
supposedly at this time, a lot of um, things will come to light,
Right.
and it's kind of going to be the matter versus spirit. Spirit is going to be coming more into your life because of this Aries, 0 degrees of Aries. You're going to see more and more and more, and it's
Hmm.
pretty exciting when you think about it.
It is. It's going to open up a lot of gifts for people if that's something to focus on also, what kind of gifts you feel you have right now, that and whatever it is that you do have is going to blossom, I would
Mhm.
say, over the next, well, my guides are saying from the 17th until April 17th. So February, so 2 months. But it's because of all of this stuff that they're given that time frame. And then there's a planetary alignment on the end of, let's see, February 28th, and then
Mhm.
a total lunar eclipse on March 3rd. And Heather Ensworth has a very, very good explanation of all this. Pam Gregory does too. But the one I saw Pam's last week, and the one I saw today with Heather was really good. I'll put the link in
Okay.
the comments. And she just really explains things, very well. She speaks very slowly, and I think that's wonderful. It's teaching me how to pace myself a little bit, because
Oh,
you can, put emphasis on things like
oh.
that.
And I also wanted to, actually, one of my friends had sent me it was, Pam Gregory and Molly McCord, because Molly McCord also does astrology. So I need to watch that too. So,
Yeah. Is she the one who did all the research years and years past?
I don't know.
Oh, there's one that Pam talks to who's done a lot
Hmm.
of research on this stuff.
Well, this is the first time I've seen her with Molly McCord. So
Okay, I've never heard of that, Molly McCord, but I will check it out. Cool.
I used to listen to her a lot because she does like 6 to 8 minute kind of short videos on the astrology. And
Oh,
I
okay.
like short.
I
I
know,
like short.
I know your attention span is, yeah. Well, that's good. That's,
Mhm.
it's you what is the word? Absorb easier that way. That's, it works.
I
And
do.
most people do. And it's not just because of, the internet and YouTube. It's not just because of that. There have been studies about it. So the longest that you can concentrate on one thing, that you should concentrate on one thing, is 45 minutes, because then your brain starts to boing, go to work.
Oh, do we go over? We go over 45 minutes.
Well, listening to something is different. I'm talking
Okay.
about when you're concentrating on,
Okay.
and somebody told me that, and I was like, I usually have to go to the bathroom every 45 minutes or whatever. I don't know. I usually end up having to get up and walk around the chair or whatever. It's like, yeah, that's right. 45 minutes is it. But that's super focusing for 45 minutes, super duper. So, yeah. So, anyway, so with all of this, my celestial helpers, when I channeled this morning, I'm in a crystal. My house and grounds are in a crystal, and I am of love and light. And I invite any um, galactic friends of love and light to see if anybody new would come in. They did try to give me a name and where they were from, and it just comes through like blah, 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 blah. And so finally, I said Palladians, and they didn't say no, but they didn't say yes, like I usually hear. And they gave, a name of the planet, and those things just don't come through. And they were the ones who said that I was working at it too hard. So if you work at it too hard, it's just like the skater you saw the other night. And I was like, oh, wow, what a great analogy that is. So I have to use that.
You're two in your head.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Well, I mean, I was still channeling, so I don't know how that went. Anyway,
Anyway.
but yeah, they didn't have a lot new to say. It was just like a new connection. But when I did the Celestial Helpers, they came through with, and you'll see it on Celestial Helpers on Facebook if you go. That will be up there today, talking about the time between February 17th and April 17th, and how this is a time, like in the past, we've said this is good manifestation day or something like that. And it's more than that. It's not just to manifest. I mean, unless you're asking for a huge change in your life. And if you don't want any changes in your life, I'm sorry, because
I
that's
was
what's
gonna
coming.
say, that's probably not gonna happen.
Yeah, that's what's coming for everyone, is going to be a big thing, and technology is going to go crazy. But the next couple of months, I think, we've been preparing everybody for this time because it's going to be tough. If you thought it was tough already, it's going to be tough if you think of just the bad things. But if you can focus on good things that you want to see in the world, it'd be fabulous. Anyway, they have two questions that they taught me. The first one is to think about what the world would be like if there were actual UAPs, like in the was it The Simpsons, where they said in 2026 all of these UAPs will be flying all around, and if that happened, what would life be like for you? And if you fear it, then you don't have to have anything to do with it. You don't have to believe it. You don't have to do anything with it. If you are excited about it in any way, shape, or form, then you need to get involved. And this is what they're saying. You need to look at what my life will be like, what the Earth life will be, and pretend that you are not just the citizen of Earth, you're a galactic citizen of Earth. And this will help those who are in diversity, that understand diversity is that's the way it is because we're human. There, you don't know diversity until you're going to see these beings that are supposedly going to be coming. And Bashar's been saying it for a while, and it's like this year and next year. So look out for that. And then the other question is having to do with now I forgot what it is. There's two questions. Well, it's in the thing on Facebook, Celestial Helpers. But mainly, they definitely want everyone to know that they are here to help. Don't fear it. And if you do fear it, don't be a part of it. That's fine. But if you fear it, but you're excited, then face the fear. Why are you having this fear? Because, is it because Hollywood, set it up that way, or the government has set it up that way in your mind? Then you can just wash that away because it's non-existent after the next few months. So there we go.
Exactly. And we were talking about frequency like last week or something. And frequency is your currency. But
Yeah.
but realize that if you are at a certain bandwidth and lower energies are in a lower bandwidth, they really can't touch you.
All
You
right.
can see them because dimensionally, you can see dimensions below you,
Mhm.
but you can't look into dimensions above you. And that's kind of like where these lower energies are trapped. They can't get to you if you are in a higher vibration.
That's
And
right.
so, and one way to stay in a higher vibration is just not to recognize, fear. I was going to say not to recognize the fear, but not to recognize the fear that isn't real.
The energy
Don't
behind the
start
fear.
thinking of things fearfully
Right.
if you don't have a good reason to,
Right. And we don't really, I mean, only the people that are maybe possibly out there protesting or, in other places where I don't even want to say, where things are heating up. Um, People that are on the front lines of everything that's happening. Let's put it that way. Yes, you want to have fear tell you when somebody's coming up behind you, that sort of thing.
Yeah,
But don't let it dictate what you believe and what
no,
what you feel. And, so again, if you're excited about this, the idea that ETs may be coming, there's an app that Dr. Stephen Greer set up, the CE5 app, and there are many people that are going out into the, out like we went to the labyrinth here, but it's in the middle of the city. And just you listen to one of the meditations that he put on there and just call them to us. And there have been many people that have done it. And there was a one guy who did it recently was in the one of the Facebook groups said that he saw some orbs. And I only see them behind my eyes when I start to meditate. When we did this, my friend saw one. I didn't see it, but But it's probably because I said years ago that I didn't want to see this stuff. So I have to, that's something I have to figure out how to reprogram them to finally show it to me because I've said
And
I don't want to.
and with Saturn and Neptune,
Hmm.
different energies, different vibrations. It's like things just might become a little bit more visible.
I agree with you. You're going to see a lot more things on Facebook. Although, I've been able to see the difference when it's AI or not. There's one guy who just keeps posting these things and they have this music behind it and you think it's real as it starts and then it goes off the rocks.
Well, and some of the AI is, I mean, not all AI is bad.
Oh
You
no, no, no.
and it really is just what you resonate with.
Oh,
If,
definitely. I use
if
AI all the
yeah,
time. Yeah.
if you like what you hear, then it's good. If you
Yeah.
don't like what you hear, turn it off.
That's right. Yeah. And there have been other people talking about more than just ETs that are being uncovered. So there's so much that's going to happen over the next couple of weeks,
No,
next couple of
this
months.
this
So
year, it's just very exciting.
it is. See,
Mhm.
that's what I look at it as. It is exciting. Yes, I hear what's going on out there and, just send unconditional love. Especially if you do it in a pyramid in a triangle, it's going to send a different kind of energy. Sending that unconditional love, what the helpers have said about triangles. And what geometry, what do you call those geometrists say about triangles that they're very, very potent. Energy is very potent within a triangle. And the other thing was, oh yeah, somebody said something about Bigfoot will be more uncovered, and I don't know. There's just anything that you can think of,
Mhm.
because, and not that I like what has happened, with all the trials that are going on and things that are coming to light. I definitely do not like what happened, but since it has happened and it's coming out, there's going to be so much more coming out about that, and people may not know what to believe at some point. So if you don't know, unless it's in your life, you don't need to. This
Don't
is
need
what
to.
I say. You don't need to know because unless it has something to do with you personally. So
Mhm.
just stay in your power, stay in your root yourself, and keep yourself grounded and do something that makes you feel good.
Yeah, I was going to I'm gonna put something up. I had written something out. And it's got a lot to do with the choices and how to get unstuck and like what Mary was talking about and just doing something different. Doing one thing different, taking a different route to work, leaving a
Yeah.
little early and taking the side streets, listening to music that uplifts you, just instead of, because because I like my sweets. Instead of Dairy Queen, go to Andy's.
Or See's candies around here. Oh, I don't eat that stuff anymore though, but yeah, I don't eat chocolate much anymore. But yeah, do something different. That's right. And even if it's just, I don't know, people are talking about, oh, I'm going to the gym. And then to me that's kind of like the masculine energy. It's, oh, work your body, that kind of thing. So I prefer Tai Chi and things like that. There are more people doing Tai Chi and
Mhm.
Kwang, whatever that stuff that you call.
Qigong.
Qigong, okay.
Qigong.
And yeah, because Tai Chi still has martial arts in it. But
And chair yoga is good too.
chair yoga,
Okay.
yes, yes, that's another thing. And these things are easy. They really are, but they make a big difference. A lot of it is because of your mindset while
Mhm.
you're doing them. So I have found when I worked out, it's like "Brr, brr," you're punching, you're
Yeah.
doing it, nah, 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 it's very aggressive. Yeah, you get the muscles and all that stuff, but I think it just like built up this anger in me somehow instead of letting it out. So yeah, so I would suggest, like you said, even if you can't do regular yoga, yoga's good. But yeah.
Yoga is good, but it was a little too hard for me. So, but chair yoga, I can do chair yoga.
Oh, you used to do yoga every day for a while.
It's chair yoga. It's
Oh,
chair
it is.
and
Oh, okay.
it's senior yoga.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with
Because I'm
that.
a senior.
And or even there's I don't know if it's on YouTube, but there was a lady who used to do stretching for the elderly. Just stretches
Yeah,
changed my whole body. Just doing stretches every day. It was
yeah.
incredible.
Just
So,
adding something new, and YouTube is a plethora of ideas, you know.
yeah. Yeah. What was the other one I thought of? Something that you did as a kid that makes you happy, and it was like, oh, flying a kite. That never made me happy because it never worked. So why would I do that? What's that? Painting? You do your
I used to
painting.
love to do my paint by numbers.
Yep.
And that's what I started doing when COVID hit. I started doing what I loved to do as a kid.
Ah, you love to do
And
painting.
now look what I've
You
done.
have, yeah, you have all kinds of works. That's right. Or, and crafts are good, but
Mhm,
when I look at the crafts that my mom did, other than the things she did needlepoint for the walls and stuff like that, it was always that mom thing. She was always making things for other people, coasters and
mhm,
Kleenex box covers and things like that. And it was all in that mindset. When I started painting, it was for me. It
mhm,
turned into more than that, but it started out as I'm just painting for me. And
mhm.
I had a blind husband at the time, so I was really on my own. Really on my own with that. So I could tell him about, what
I
they
was gonna say, sometimes you just kill me.
Well, I don't
Oh,
want
and
to
by the
kill
way, I
you.
had a blind husband, so I was really,
I was really on my
it's
own
really
as
just
far
for
as
me.
painting. Yeah, but my family, my dad was very surprised. Wow, wow, I didn't know you could do this. I was like, I didn't know I could do it either. But I found out if you ever have played a musical instrument or sang, and learned how to sing choral wise, you can learn how to paint. Everybody can paint. And it doesn't have to be anything.
No,
You
no,
know,
yeah.
yeah. Or what was the other thing? Diamond. People are doing diamond
Diamond art.
diamond art.
Diamond art. It makes pretty pictures, but it's very repetitive. I mean,
Oh,
this is kind of repetitive, but you get to use different colors and you get to use,
yeah.
your hands, and it just depends on what you're drawn to.
Well, and that's right. And some of it, think about what the thing smells like, because your olfactory gland is very connected to not just your memories. I think it's connected to past lives, because when I started paint by numbers when I was in my 20s,
Mhm.
the smell of the oil paint gave me the weirdest dreams,
Oh, really?
as though I was alive back whenever they
Well, you
painted.
probably
I
were.
I know I was. Now I
Yeah.
know I was, but I
Yeah.
didn't know then. And so it
Right.
took years, but I did finally, get to where I was working with oils again. And just the smell of my paint box is like, it's lovely. So yeah, look for something that smells good too. That also is that, I don't know, scientifically and physically, there's something about the scent that
Yeah.
it is definitely connected to memory. But yeah, it might bring out some past lives
Mhm.
for you or something. But it also can change your mindset.
That's aromatherapy.
Yeah. Well, duh. Yeah, it is. Of
Did
course. Of course it is.
you just make that
I
up,
just invented
Donna?
aromatherapy. Well, I'm always, what do they say?
Yeah,
It's
but it's
2 days
looking
late and
at
a
it in a
dime
new
short.
way.
A new reason to use it. Yeah.
That's right.
Well,
That's
I always think of aromatherapy the way it was presented at the time. It's not to get in touch with anything, it's just to relax.
Mhm.
That's what because, the world is busy and,
Right.
you have to do. So when you have a bath, you need aroma, whatever. Oils when you meditate. Yeah, you're right. So that's wonderful. I hope I don't look too stupid with that. That's so
No,
funny.
you do
That
not.
is so funny.
The more you talk, the more it's like, that's aromatherapy.
That is so funny. Oh boy. I love us. We are so good. We have
Well,
so much fun.
maybe someday everybody will love us.
Well, yeah, that I keep hearing that from my guides. They will come. They will come. It's like, okay, we'll keep doing this. So, yeah, so the my book, the publisher never answered on that my
Oh,
yeah, well, that's they said if you haven't heard in 8 weeks. It was a one-time shot. It was and I feel okay about it. I used to get upset when I would get, turned down. But there are people that
well,
have
so,
been turned down.
there's times for certain things to happen,
Right.
and I know that, when I was going through, all of my healing of others' journey, not necessarily myself, but, I was really trying to think of new ways to heal. It's like, I think that was all just to bring me to the realization that whatever I do is good.
Yes. And it's all healing.
Mhm.
Everything that you do that has to do with that is going to be healing because you're looking forward to, the it's not the finished product. That's not the right word, but to
Well,
the
we are
healed
all
person.
unfinished products.
Yeah, that's right. It will forever be. Yeah.
It's the
But
unfoldment.
yes, unfolding. That we are unfolding, that's for sure. But I mean, like, they say if you're healing,
Mhm.
you don't look at the ailment, you look at what they will be like when it's gone.
Yeah,
Imagine, the arm, oh, there's a pain there. Don't look at the pain. And that's what I tell people too. Don't think of the pain, think of how the rest of the arm works well, or, oh, this arm works well, or you always want to concentrate on what is working instead of, but it's hard to do when the pain is really bad.
I know.
That's
I know.
where I like some kind of modern medicine once in a while, like a leave or something like
Well,
that. But
that's why we have
that's
aspens.
that's why it's here. Yeah, right. That's why it's here.
That's right.
That's right. So anyway, did you have anything else you wanted to talk about
No, no,
today?
I think that's good.
Yeah, this is good. Okay. Well, everybody, good luck this week.
We'll be back again.
We, as far as we
Oh.
know, we hope. Yeah, well, we aren't anywhere near any of the things that are going on, and I have a friend who's Hawaiian, and she's from Hawaii, and she said that there's a volcano there that has been, and she said, and it's so exciting, and I was like, I love that they look at it that way, and not like, oh my God, the volcanoes, they're excited about it. It's because they understand that it brings a good energy once it does its thing.
Yes,
Um,
Mother Gaia must release itself in ways, and there are
that's
a
right.
multitude of ways that it does that.
That's right. And then somebody, Ann Tucker, had said she thought something in the Indian Ocean was going to happen, and nothing had happened. But then recently I saw that they found some kind of, I don't know how they do this, it must be LIDAR or something, where they found like a black hole part that they can't find the bottom in the ocean. And then this Nick
That's
Jackson,
interesting.
yeah, it is. And then Nick Jackson did this thing where he's all excited. I don't know if you know who he is. He's this young kid. He does these, let me tell you what's really happening in the news in 60 seconds. And some of his stuff is hilarious.
I was
And
gonna say 60 seconds is about good for me.
yeah, it is. I'll send you a link. He's really cool. He's
Okay.
really funny. And he is into all of the astrological. He has these wonderful telescopes where he'll take the most beautiful pictures of things that are going on astrologically, astronomically, sorry. And well, it's astrological too. But
Yeah.
anyway, but he said the one thing that, and he makes it sound like, oh my God, this thing it's so new and it's so beautiful. I wonder what this is. And the scientists have found that there were, and I can't remember how he termed it, but there were two spots of, it was some kind of magnetic field in two different spots, and one is over the Pacific Ocean and one is over I don't know, under Australia, whatever it was. And he's acting like it's, oh my God, the world's coming to an end. And it's like, and it's been there for 30,000 years or whatever. And I'm like, well, I imagine it's not going to hurt us, sweetheart. But it was just so fun to watch him. He just gets so excited. But he has some interesting news of, things that are, and he's the one who he always says, okay. just like that. He's so cute. So
Well, you'll have to pin it so that
I
so that
will.
yeah.
I'll find something and pin it for everybody. It's hilarious. He's so cute. So that's something that we can ask if you want to put in comments, things like that that you guys watch, that you have in your algorithm that helps you to, gives you a laugh, makes you stay in a higher frequency. Those share them, please,
Yeah.
because everybody needs that. So that's wonderful. Yeah. Share them in the comments on YouTube and not on Facebook. Thank you.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, okay. He's so cute. Anyway, so yeah, so this was fun. It went
Yes.
really fast. I can't believe we're done already. Oh my gosh. So good luck, everybody, and thank you for hanging around. And thank you, Vicki, for your beautiful smile and all
And thank you, Donna, for your
fun.
wisdom and your laughs
And
and being my friend.
yeah, so cool. Oh yeah. You want to show the t-shirts?
Uh,
Another time. You don't
yeah.
have to. Okay, we have friendship t-shirts. We'll show you some. Oh, there you go.
Oh, hold on.
What? There you go. It's from Free to Be You and Me. Isn't that cute? That's me and Vicki.
Donna had sent a piece of music that she truly loved. And I was watching and listening, and it was on YouTube, and one of the visuals was this. And
Yeah.
it's like, oh my God, that is us. And so I took a picture of it and I sent it to her, and she made a
A
t-shirt for me.
t-shirt. I have one too. I wore it on the last
You wore
one
yours last time.
when we interviewed Mary.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mary Richards. Oh yeah, that's another thing. Stay tuned because Shane will be here. Mary's son. He's gonna, I
Yes.
think it's next week. So I'm
Yeah.
excited about that too.
Yeah, we're gonna interview a kid.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. Oh, I
I
love children. Oh, he's not a kid though.
Well, no, I know. I just hope he doesn't make me look too stupid.
Oh no, well, I don't think that could be
Well, we'll see. We'll see.
not as stupid as
I don't know what you're talking about.
You at least know what aromatherapy is. So
That's true.
speaking of looking stupid, but that doesn't bother. I don't care. I used to get all worried about that.
Well,
Now
no,
I'm just
I
like,
don't know. It's more of a joke than anything else.
yeah,
I
it's
don't
just
mean it personally.
no. I know you don't, but I used to take those things to heart. Now I look at it like that is hilarious. You can laugh at yourself. That's another good thing. That's like on the top 5 of things to do. Laugh at yourself. That's a good thing. Yeah, that's great.
Because we're all
Okay.
very funny, especially
Yes.
to ourselves.
Yes, that's right. I laugh at myself
Because
all
we
day
always
long.
get our own jokes.
That too. Yeah, that's amazing. I have the most wonderful audience, me.
All right, you guys,
and
we
you.
gotta go.
Yes,
We
we're gonna
gotta
go.
go.
Thank you, audience.
Thank you.
Thank you. Love
And
you.
have a great week. We will see you again next week with a
Yes,
little
we
guy.
will.
And we just love you.
Aw, that's so sweet. Yes, we do. Thank you all for watching. It's
Thank
your time.
It's your time. Bye.
Bye.